We'll go ahead and get started in another minute or two, waiting for it to turn 12:30 and everybody that's going to join gets on.
You're in.
All right. Well, Latresha, it looks like maybe it's just you and I, but we're recording this, so hopefully people will watch it in the recording because the assignments for this week are a little tricky. Usually those who watch the live chat at some point in time do really well. So hopefully that holds out for this particular term as well. So we are in Unit 4, almost done with this course, and today we're going to cover ground on a lot of things, particularly due to the requirements for the assignments. So let's take a look. Again, just our marketing umbrella, looking at all the things that marketing encompasses. So the umbrella holds our marketing mix variables, are what we also term the 4 Ps. So we have people, our customers, we have the product, the price we charge for that, what the value exchange is, the place, our distribution, and finally we can do our promotion. And then the handle that holds up the entire umbrella is our research. And we're going to talk a lot about research today. We're going to look at some areas that definitely need research, and we're going to look at the whole full digital marketing program. So I have a few slides in this deck that I would save if I were you, really critical to encompassing everything that we deal with in marketing. But I'm going to email this presentation to you when we're done with the live chat. So typically I email it both to your personal and your CTU. Some students get it easier on their personal mail than they do at their CTU, but I send it both ways. So you will get that, and it will have those key slides in it. So let's just talk a little bit about last week. I'm currently working on grading the papers. I published the faculty newsletter for the university, and that was due today, this morning. So usually I try and get everything graded for you guys on Monday, and that didn't happen because I had to put the finishing touches on that newsletter. I got quite a few papers graded early this morning, and I'll be back at it a little bit later today after our live chat, as well as in the morning tomorrow. So look for those papers to definitely get finished up here. I don't want them to hang out there too long. I did go through, I think it was Sunday, and I graded any late work that had been submitted. I will review it again before the end of the week, but just remember with late work, I'm not a robot. I'm an actual human being with a life as well. So I have kids, I have a family, I have my coffee bar that I own. So I try to be really timely with grading any late work, but I do have to go in there and actually look at the papers and grade them. So it's not something that happens automatically. And I usually wait until we get quite a few submissions in. It's just much more efficient to go in and do that than to do one at a time as soon as people submit them. And I always don't have time to do that. I've got a lot of responsibility with CTU as well, since I'm a lead faculty. So just keep in mind that if you submit late work, it does get graded a little later, but I will get to it. So we're going to go through and we're going to really take a detailed look at your assignments for this week. I'm going to cover the course concepts, and as always, we'll have question and answer. Please, if you have a question, just unmute yourself. You can ask it in the chat, or I don't mind if you unmute yourself and just ask the question. I like to hear you guys talk, and I like to have that dialogue. I don't necessarily enjoy hearing myself talk. So if you have questions, do go ahead and ask them. So as we look at grading and I go through and do get those papers graded from last week, and as we're talking about the assignments that are going to be due for Unit 4, make sure you use the templates, or make sure that you're following the assignment instructions. I feel like there are quite a few students who just kind of wing it in their understanding of the assignment, particularly for Unit 4. Read through it carefully. Those of you who are on the live chat or those who watch the live chat in the recording, you will not miss out on it because I'm going to go through it for you. Those who just try and wing it, and I don't know exactly how it happens, but I get a number of students that do Unit 4 completely wrong. So we're going to show you how to do that today. Again, write for graduate level work. Include your outside sources. When you have end of paper references, you need to have those corresponding in-text source citations. So make sure you are including those. And don't use AI to do your work and then assume that I'm so stupid that I can't tell that you used AI. That's probably the most offensive part of students who are now using AI to do their writing is when they treat me like I'm an idiot. And they're like, no, we didn't use it when it's so obvious that you did. So try not to do that. You can use AI to get ideas, but you don't want to use it to actually write the work and submit the assignments. So let's make sure we're not doing that. Okay. So I'm going to actually go in and we're going to visit each of these sites. So for your Unit 4 individual project, you are going to visit three research sites: Google Trends, Statista, and Google Dataset Search. In each of the three of these data sites, you're going to actually search for the term baby formula. At all three of them, you're going to be looking at baby formula. In Google Trends, you're going to look at and observe the data for baby formula in the United States, and then you're going to change it to worldwide, and you're going to look at how that changes over time, how it changes by different regions of the world, and what happens. What are the trends that you're seeing regarding baby formula as you change the settings in Google Trends? You are going to actually take screenshots of the data trend lines. You're going to put those in your paper. If you do not know how to do a screenshot with the particular technology that you're using, whatever computer system you're running, Google that. How do I take a screenshot with whatever it is? And it will give you step-by-step instructions. But you have to include those screenshots of the data that you see when you search for baby formula in Google Trends. You then also need to interpret that data. What does that data mean? You're looking at it, you're looking at these charts and graphs. Tell in your paper, tell what it means. What are you seeing from the data? You're a market researcher. You need to be able to interpret data. You're going to do the same thing with Statista and the same thing with Google Dataset Search. I'm going to go into each of these platforms and I'm going to show you how to do it. Statista, particularly, you are going to have to go into Statista through the CTU library. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to access anything. Statista is a paid subscription. CTU has a subscription. You can go in there and you can look up all kinds of information and data in Statista. You will find that very helpful in a lot of the papers and things that you'll be doing throughout the MBA program at CTU. So we're going to get familiar with it in this class. I'm going to get out of the PowerPoint. I'm going to stop sharing that, and we're going to go in and look at the information for your IP4, and I'm going to show you how to access these different data sites. So let's see here. I need to get here. Okay. So we're going to first go into Google Let's do Google Trends. Okay. So Google Trends, that's a simple, I think we have a link in the assignment and you can get into it through the assignment portal, or you can simply type in Google Trends and you can get to it just by searching in your um, browser. So you can explore all kinds of things. So we're at home. So here's what we want you to explore. You're going to do a search on baby formula. Okay, if you can see here, everybody I hope is seeing my screen. This is where you change the different regions. We're looking right now at baby formula trends past 24 hours in the United States. So you can see, what kinds of searches, some of the search queries that people are doing, formula for baby, baby milk formula, water for baby formula, all of these different searches. Some things that are rising queries that are happening in the United States in the past 24 hours, looking at organic infant formula, Abbott Laboratories baby formula, high calorie baby formula, baby sleep schedules. You can see when a lot of the activity is occurring for baby formula searches. And I'm laughing because I've had babies. Those of you who've had them, you see the searches early in the morning here happening, and that just made me have to chuckle a little bit. Okay, so then when we go worldwide, what does that look like? And so you can come up here and you can change it worldwide. So in your paper, you're going to actually take a screenshot of these graphs. You may take a screenshot of the top queries or the rising queries. You will include that in your paper. You will insert the screenshots into your paper and you will give an interpretation of what this data is telling you. What are you seeing with this information, this search for baby formula? Before we go to the next one, does anybody have any questions? Okay. Let's take a look then. We're going to go into Statista. Remember, I mean, I've already had questions in the messenger system about I can't get any data from Statista. No, you've got to go in through the library. So if you're in your course room, you can go over on the left-hand side and you'll see library and bookshelf. You can go into the library and you can look up in their databases. So I just go all the way down here and you'll get to S and you can go right into Statista. You will see it as one of the options for the databases that CTU Library subscribes to. You will click on that. And you'll put in your search term. Again, you have to accept the cookies. Your search term again will be baby formula. And you'll search. And it's going to come up with all different types of information. I would look on, I would pick out US baby food market statistics and facts. You're going to have to pick one of these and do a deep dive. You can then get into the baby food market revenue worldwide. You could take a picture, a screenshot of that particular graph and put that in your paper and do some interpretation based on what it's telling you. This is going to give you the synopsis right here of this data. So you'll want to be able to kind of read through this and see what this information is telling you. But you're going to need to pick one of these topics. Statista is going to give you a lot of different topics. Pick one or two of them. You'll need to do a fair amount of research. So this paper shouldn't just take you 2 seconds. You know, you're not going to have AI spit it all out and then just insert a few graphs and charts. Get familiar with Statista. It's very, very helpful. If you're serious about your MBA program, you're going to want to understand how this works, what kind of data you can get. All of that's very, very, very helpful. You could look at the infant formula and baby food market size for North America. So let's say I developed some kind of new organic baby food and I was trying to do a feasibility study to see if it would be helpful to, formulate this and take it to market. I would want this information. I need to see if I can actually be profitable with it. I need to see the size of the North American baby food market. How big is it? What kind of revenue is it producing? All of this you can get in Statista. This data is fairly up to date. You can read more. You get all this information about the baby food market. So you're going to include these charts and graphs, and you're going to do an interpretation. What is the data telling you? What do you see from that data? Martha, what do you mean no specific catalog? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Can you clarify that for me?
Yes, ma'am. For the Statista, the baby formula, you said pick a category, but no, nothing in particular, right?
Right. You can pick are you seeing my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I am.
So when I first go into Statista and I put in baby formula, see all of these US mothers first time of buying, US baby food market, infant formula. Look, I mean, there's just pages and pages of topics. Pick the
That's
ones that interest you the most.
okay. The same thing with the trend or Google Trend. The same thing. Do the same
No,
thing.
were you, I don't know if you're at work or if you were able to actually see me go through Google Trends because that's going to
Yeah.
be a little different because you're putting in worldwide and then you're putting in the US and you're
Okay.
looking.
Yeah, I got that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.
Thank.
You're welcome. Let's go in then and we're going to look at Google Dataset Search.
I have a question.
Yes.
Hi, so with Statista, we're going to do pick one from the US only, correct?
No, no. So when you go into Google Trends, you're going to do trends for the US and then you're going to change it to worldwide.
Okay.
When you go into Statista, can you see my screen?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Statista. You're going to type in this search bar, baby formula.
Okay.
Are you following?
Yes.
Okay. It's going to give you all of these different topics. Each one of these are different topics, kind of like if you were in Google doing some kind of search, it's going to bring up all kinds of stuff, right?
Right.
So these are all different topics. You can pick any one or two of the topics that you want. So let's say you wanted to look at US mothers' first time of buying baby formula. You would click on that and do a deep dive into that. You would take pictures of the charts and graphs and you would interpret that data. You can pick any of these that you want. You could do US baby food market. You could do infant formula and baby food market size. You could do retail value. You could pick any of these that you want.
Okay. I guess because what I saw at the bottom of it is one of them says like worldwide, one says North America. So I didn't know if we needed to stick with like the US, but I
No,
get
no,
you. I
you
follow.
can pick.
Perfect.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So if I was here at infant formula and baby food market size North America and it says North America and I do a deep dive and I really look at that data and interpret that data, but I can also come down here and do the worldwide market as well.
Okay.
And if I
Thank
go
you.
down here,
Hold on,
here's
hold
one
on.
for China. So it's just, this is United Kingdom, Great Britain, and Northern Ireland. So you've got all kinds of data available to you in Statista, and just pick the ones that interest you the most.
Thank you.
I'm gonna give you guys some latitude to just kind of have fun with it. I mean, I think it's fun. I love market research. You may think I'm a big, big geek, but I just think it's so interesting and there's so much information that you can find out. And so, yeah, I may want to look at North America and then look at, okay, what's going on in China or what's going on in Italy. I don't know. You could pick whatever you want for that one. Okay, so then you're going to go into Google Dataset Search. And again, there's a link in the assignment. So you could click on that link or you can just put it up in the browser, Google Dataset Search. Okay. And it'll bring you to Google Dataset Search. And you're going to again type in baby formula. And it's going to give you all kinds of things, right? So you have 100 plus data sets that were found for baby formula, for my search on baby formula. So again, it's kind of up to you which ones you want to look at. So if I take this one, baby food and infant formula market growth analysis, this is one of them. So I might want to read through this information. What is it telling me? I could go to the actual website and look up that information. Um, so I can get like all these charts and graphs so I can see this information here on baby food and infant formula market because you definitely need to do some deep dives into this to interpret the data and tell us what you're finding out, what kind of information you're finding out. Now, some students over the years, and they don't end up with a very good grade, they just take a picture of this page. And they don't really tell me anything because this page doesn't really tell you anything. This is just your search. You need to deep dive into one of these categories. So if I went over here to baby's food ingredients, I'm going to come here. It's going to tell me I'm going to read this description of what it is. I can go then to that website, see what that gives me. And this is going to tell me more things. It's going to give me charts and graphs and information that actually means something. You're going to include screenshots of the information and you're going to interpret that information in your paper. So don't just kind of halfway do this assignment. You want to get a good grade. I mean, you're MBA students, right? So let's go in. I want to go in and take you into the actual assignment instructions. And so I'm going to mute you, Katie. Here, I can hear your background chatter. Okay, so you have in your assignment here, you do have an article about market research. Here are the instructions: Google Trends, search baby formula. Make note of how the interest it varies over time and by region. Provide specific examples and include screenshots of the data graphics that are displayed. Interpret the data. What does it mean? This is why I'm always so mystified when students submit a paper and they don't do any of these things. I'm like, did you not read the assignment? So, I mean, it's very specific. Review the research, note the categories of information, include screenshots for all of it. Using what you've learned from these sites, you're going to write your paper. What kind of data is available on each of these three sites? How can marketers use each platform to better understand consumer demand and market trends? Support your answer with your evidence. You'll include your screenshots, you'll include your in-text source citations and your end-of-paper references. How does combining the data sources give a more complete picture? You'll write a little synopsis of that. I'm guessing that some students don't pay any attention to this stuff and then just come down here and do this. But you have to do all of it. It's really important to either be on the live chat where I explain it all or thoroughly read through your assignment because I want you all to do good. But you have to include the screenshots of the data and you have to interpret that data. And then you'll include this this information also. You'll answer these questions. Does anybody have any questions about your individual project for Unit 4?
Yes, ma'am, I do have a question. Can we combine those the questions with the data research,
Oh, instead of doing each of
separating it.
the
Yeah.
answer the yeah, you can do that any way you want.
Okay. Thank you.
Just make sure you answer them.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, good question. Thanks, Martha.
You're welcome.
Any other questions on this individual project? Okay, let's go in and take a look at your discussion board post for Unit 4. This one is another one where I have students that don't follow the directions. In this particular discussion board, I want you to have fun with this, okay? We're going to be talking about social media marketing, and we're going to be looking at product development. So for this discussion board, you're actually going to come up with a snack mix. You can make it whatever you want. You're going to name it, you're going to talk about its ingredients, and you're going to talk about who the target market is. So I've had people do a protein snack mix that's for athletes. I've had people do a snack mix that's just for kids. I've had snack mix for elderly people. Pick a population, pick a demographic, pick a very specific target market for your snack mix. You've got to name it, describe it, and pick that target market for it. Then you're going to choose 2 social media platforms that align with your target market. So when you talk about why you picked those social media platforms, you need to have information about your target market. So you may say, I picked Instagram, and here's some data of the type of demographic that really spends a lot of time on Instagram. So I know that Instagram is a good fit for my target market because they are on Instagram. You're going to justify why you chose the social media platforms that you chose. And the reason you chose them needs to be because of your target market. So those two things have to go together. And then you're going to talk about one social media platform that would not be appropriate for your snack mix. And then look at how you would optimize your product description. So things like what hashtags you might include, what kind of keywords, or how you might tell the brand story in your social media platform to really optimize that product description. So you can have a lot of fun with this. Now, I will tell you, students, this is where we always get into a little kerfluffle, if you will. Students will just type all this, copy and paste that into, let's just say, Chat GPT, and then upload whatever Chat GPT spits out. Well, guess what? It will give me what every other student has done. I will get a lot of the same thing. And so when I'm asking you to describe your snack mix, create your snack mix, put a name to your snack mix, how is it that you got the same snack mix that I've had over the last few years of doing this assignment? It's because you used AI. It's a large language learning model. It's learning from what people are putting into it. So it's going to spit out what I've seen before. So I will know that you used it and you didn't do any of your own work if that happens. So you don't have to put a certain word count. You don't have to do any of that. Just have fun with it. Come up with a really creative. I had a student last term, and I've got to go back and see if I can find her email. She actually has a snack mix that she produces and ships all over the country. And guess what? She shipped me some of her snack mix. It was really cool. Fun to see her project come together, fun to see how she combined all the stuff and her target market, very specific target market. And then I actually got to sample some of the snack mix. It came in a package to my coffee bar. So it was really, really cool. Anyway, this is your assignment for your discussion board. Does anybody have any questions about that?
I have a quick comment,
Yes.
maybe not a
Yes.
question. I actually had a lot of fun with it, and I will tell you, you have finally managed to do something that has been unable to be accomplished in the past several years. I do not have Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. I have none of them. I had to sit there and learn about it from my daughter to
Oh, good.
understand what it was. And she made me, which you'll find humorous, even make a pretend post at the bottom with hashtag things
Oh, I love
on it.
that.
And she laughed at me. She goes, Mom, this is terrible, but that's okay. You can go ahead and use that in your discussion board. Because apparently it was not pretty enough, and she didn't like the icons that I used and the little GIF things or whatever to make it stand out. Yeah,
Oh,
so
that's funny.
you made me learn about it, and I have been avoiding it like the plague.
Well, and I love that your daughter got to help you. How old is she, Sabrina?
She's 18. She's actually, no, I'm sorry, she's 19 now. She's in college at Front Range Community College where I work. And I was like, honey, I need help with an assignment. She's like, no, we're in college now. You remember your answer about high school? I'm not in high school anymore. You're not in high school anymore. I can't help you. I said, Chloe Ann, do you want me to pay for your hair to get done? She's like, oh yeah, that's right. I have an appointment. What do you need help with, Mom? So she
Well,
read it and she literally started laughing for like, I don't know, a good 2, 3 minutes before she even started helping me because she was like, I cannot believe we have been fighting you on this for years and now you have to do it because of an assignment.
that's funny. Well, I ask about her age because my daughter's 20, getting ready to be 21. She actually manages my coffee bar, which is funny because she was like 6, 7 years old when I opened it. And so all these years I've been doing the social media for it. Well, now she's taken over doing a lot of the social media. And she said, don't post anymore. Don't, your pictures, your stuff is too ugly. You can't use
Oh my
it.
gosh.
It's not the
That's what,
image we want. She's
that's what Chloe told me. I tried to put a picture of a jar of peanut butter and she's like, no, Mom, you can't do that.
Yeah, my daughter didn't like any of my pictures, and I will say that hers are way better, but she has more time than I have. I don't have a lot of time to, and she's an artist. I'm not an artist. She's an artist. So, anyway, that's funny when your daughter told you, your stuff is too ugly. I'm like, I feel you on that one because I have been told the exact same thing.
So
Well, this is great.
I did try. So it is definitely probably not one of the best you've ever seen, but I did try. And
I bet it's great. I can't wait.
yeah.
This is my favorite discussion board. I love to see the creativity and I love to see all the different snack mixes. And I just reminded me I've got to find that student from last term because I need to thank her for, I got this fabulous package with her snack. She had a snack mix that came, it was dry in a bag, and then she had another snack thing that was in a jar, and so I got a box with all these wonderful samples in it. It was really really fun. So I love this assignment. I want you to have fun with it. Some people are like, it's an assignment, how could it be fun? But try to find the joy. I appreciate your story, Sabrina. You found a little joy in that
I
as
did. It was actually kind of funny. And she laughed at me. She goes, Mom, she asked you to create a snack mix. Make it fun. Stop being such a mom and making one that's for peanut allergies. You don't have to put two. She didn't ask you for two. I said, I don't care.
well.
I'm putting both because if someone has peanut allergies, they can't eat the other one. So she
I
was,
like that. Two target markets. That's perfect.
it was very, so I'm going to tell her you said that because she's like, no, Mom, you're doing too much. She doesn't need that.
Overachiever. Okay, so these are our two assignments, the discussion board, the individual projects. So we're going to talk a little bit about the digital marketing landscape, and we're also going to talk a little bit about market research. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to go back in and finish up where we left off. And so let's talk about our promotional strategy. I'm sorry, I misspoke. We're not going to talk about market research. We're going to talk about promotional strategies. So I've mentioned before when we look at our marketing umbrella and we talk about promotional strategies is the sexy marketing stuff. It's what we all see because we're all exposed to marketing messages, right? We're the target market for some company. I see a lot of promotional messages and I'm just like scratching my head. I don't understand that. I don't know what they're trying to do with that. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not their target market. That's why I don't understand it. we are the target market for some companies somewhere. In many cases, we're the target market for a lot of different companies. So there are a lot of ways that they want to reach us with their messaging. And so promotional strategies, it's a lot of times what everybody thinks marketing is, but it's actually the last sort of step of marketing because you've got to develop your whole marketing program before you can do your promotional strategies. You've got to have the customer identified. You've got to have your product set in stone. You've got to have your distribution and your pricing. And then you have something to communicate to your customers and you can start your promotional strategies. So we have 5 basic promotional strategies that we do. We have advertising, we have personal selling, we have sales promotion, direct marketing, and public relations. Now, those 5 things encompass a lot. So, a lot of the things that you're exposed to is falls into one of these buckets. So let's just take my coffee bar. I have reward points. I was working the register the other day for a few minutes, and I always say, "Do you have reward points?" They put in their phone number, their rewards pop up. I had 2 or 3 people that had earned a free cookie. That is sales promotion. People are getting their reward points. They get something free by buying products from us. So a lot of different things that we're all doing are participating in are targeted with the promotion fall under one of these 5 strategies. Now, the way that these strategies hit us, get out to us as customers is either through old media or new media. Old media would be television, print, or radio. That's all we had for the longest time. And so that is what we used. We still use it, but we consider it old media because our new media is going to be our websites, so digital. It might be social, Instagram, Facebook, all of those things. Those would be social media. Or it might be mobile. We're all on our mobile phones. We have apps. We're doing things with our phones. So, mobile, digital, or social. Those are the new media strategies. So, a lot of things that fall under advertising. Advertising is paid promotion and it's paid to reach us. So if I'm a company and let's just say we'll take my coffee bar, let's just say I have people all the time, do you want to advertise here? So there are a lot of different neighborhood magazines. They want me to advertise in those neighborhood magazines. If I pay to place an ad in there, it's going to hit some people that might be my target market, but it's also going to hit people that don't drink coffee and are not my target market. So it's paid promotion hitting a lot of different people. Public relations is non-paid, and it usually gives a little bit more credibility or feeling of credibility because it's a news story that somebody has picked up. It's a press release. It's something happening that we haven't necessarily paid for. So I had my daughter did some social media. She put some stuff on Reddit, some pictures of her drinks and so forth. And a newspaper reporter saw it, thought it was amazing, called her up, and he said, "Can I write a story on the coffee bar?" And my daughter texted me and she said, "I don't know." She had no idea what was really going on, but she texted me. She said, "This man wants to meet with you." He did this 3-page story. It was fabulous, on the coffee bar, the fact that my daughter's the manager, that I own it. We talked about my roaster. That was a story went out to a lot of people. I did not pay for it. It was seen as a really good promotion because I wasn't infiltrating everybody's home with only the message that I wanted to send. It was how he wrote that article. So that's an example of public relations. You could have personal selling, and I do a lot of that through my wholesale customers. So I have a lot of wholesale customers that I roast coffee beans for. I do personal selling by doing cupping with them and having them try the different coffees that we have, finding their particular flavor profile that they want, custom crafting coffee blends for their business. That is personal selling. It's one-on-one with a customer. We also have direct marketing. And right now, I'm looking at my phone and I don't know about you guys, but I get a lot of spam email, a lot of spam texts, and a lot of spam phone calls. So if you ever wanted to call me, you've got to leave a message and I'll call you back because I have my phone completely turned off and call block on. I don't take calls from anybody I don't know because it's all day long with the spam calls, people wanting to sell me something, direct marketing. Direct marketing used to be landline telephone or snail mail, and there's still a fair amount of that. Most of the mail that I get in the mailbox is direct mail. It's stuff I don't want, it's ads, it's promotional pieces. So lots of different opportunities to reach our consumers with messages. Typically, companies will pick several of these strategies and a lot of different types of media as a way to reach their customer. So, one thing is probably not going to be really effective, but many of these things and repeating it over time will eventually produce results, which what companies want is more customer interaction, more sales of their product, more customer growth. So you'll use a variety of these promotional strategies to reach your customers. This slide is the one that I would keep forever and ever if I were you. This, and I'm going to send these to you when we're done. This is the digital marketing trifecta. So this goes through and shows you what a perfect digital marketing program will look like. So a perfect digital marketing program will have both paid, owned, and earned media. What does that look like? Well, your owned media are things that the company owns. So my website, I put the URL together, I built the website, I host the website, I update the website. I own that. That's mine. I put blogs up there about coffee, coffee tasting, all of those things. I own the blogs. That's my own media. I don't have a mobile site, but I used to. I had an app that customers could use. My company that did the app moonlighted it and kind of left me in the dust with it after I paid a fortune for it. It was very disappointing. But I currently do not have a mobile app. But if you had a mobile app, you own that mobile app. That's part of your company. That's owned media. My social media channels, my Instagram, my Facebook, those are things that I own. I control those. Well, Sabrina, my daughter, actually controls them, but our company controls them. We put the information up there. We respond to customers. Those are things that we own. That's owned media. Earned media then are customers that mention it, share out our information. They may put a review or a post. Yesterday, while I was at the coffee bar, we had a guy come in and he wanted our brew of the day was a Tanzanian pea berry coffee. And he said, well, I want that. Well, luckily I was there because a barista was about ready to serve him a cup. And I said, wait a minute, when was that brewed? And she said, oh, it was brewed earlier this morning. I said, let's not serve that to him. Let's brew him a new pot. So we brewed a new pot of the Tanzanian pea berry, gave him that coffee. And last night, as I'm scrolling through social media, he was an influencer and left a really good review about his coffee, how good it was, and how impressed he was that we took the time to brew a new pot to make sure that he had fresh coffee. So that was a review of my coffee bar. So that was earned media. I also looked on my Instagram. I had a notification and I had a customer with a picture of their drinks out on the patio at our coffee bar, and I reposted that to our stories. So that was a repost of a customer. We talked about, public relations. Anytime any other organization mentions, particularly a news station might mention, that would be public relations, earned media. Any kind of user-generated content, social ambassadors, mentions. There have been a few mentions of Wired Coffee Bar, particularly when we sponsor or help with things, and they'll mention it in their social media. So that's earned media. Paid media then are things that I am actually paying for, and I have a number of paid ads that are running. I have Google ads, I have Meta ads, which would be Instagram and Facebook. So those are paid media. I have not paid influencers, but sometimes I'll do some retargeting from my website if people are looking at our coffee. I've done pay-per-click, I've done sponsorships, I've done all of the paid media. So where you see paid media and earned media intersect, that is encouraging engagement. It's paid promotions. People are sharing those paid promotions. Where you have your paid media intersecting with your earned media, that's where your SEO and your pay per click is going to increase your exposure to your web properties, your websites, social media channels, etc. Where you have your owned media intersect with the earned media is where your brand content and your search engine optimization helps to increase traffic to all of your brand information that's out there digitally. Where you have the three intersect, you have earned, paid, and owned, where those things are all intersecting and working together is where you've got a full scale marketing strategy. They're all working together with your brand story to increase your brand exposure, increase your customer base, and increase your visibility out there in the digital marketing world. So this is a really good slide because it shows all the different things that you need to have a complete digital strategy, and it shows how they all work together. So I'm going to email these to you, but this is a kind of a good encapsulation of how that happens. So does anybody have any questions before we end our live chat? Any questions on the homework this week? Any questions on any of the content we've covered? Anything you want to discuss? All right. Well, good luck. Contact me through Messenger if you have questions about any of the assignments or anything you're doing this week. Best way to get in touch with me. I'm going to be grading papers over the next day and a half, and I will email this presentation to you. So keep in touch if you need anything or if you have questions, and I wish you all the best. Thanks for participating and attending the live chat. Have a great rest of your week.
You do the same.
All right. Bye, everyone.